Welcome. And let's speak a little bit about the formlessness that appears as all form. And it is alive and new, appearing as every expression. It is formless is not doing it. Life is not a doing, it's an apparent happening. Likewise, formless is apparently happening or appearing, you could say, as every expression, very alive and very new. It could appear as anger, it could appear as sadness, it could appear as trauma, it could appear as apparent victimhood, it could appear as anything. Yet there is no one that is doing it, be it a formlessness or God or an individual, and no one that is present to which it is happening. It's not happening to anyone, it's simply an appearance. And in this appearance itself, when the dual dream or the illusion of duality or the illusion of self appear, there seems to be like a pathway where there is a purpose and where one has to achieve so called bliss or joy or peace, and the mind has to be quietened, and there can be no anger there can be no sadness there can be no, it's just all calmness. And this is all a made up story, it's all an imagined. And because there is division of right and wrong and good and bad, and this there has to be only niceness and all the good things, and one has to get rid of apparently uh, you could say sadness or anger or those expressions which are deemed unwanted or which are deemed as evil or bad. And then what apparently happens is a lot of spiritual teachings come in for, like you should be all nice, you should be all good, and we have to somehow rise from this lowly stuff, and there can be no anger whatsoever then, and there has to be uh, only good and bliss and calmness. But the formlessness apparently is whatever the appearance, it alone is, and it alone is appearing as that. There is nothing else beyond it. So it alone is appearing as that beating or that. I know it sounds um, very contrary to what has been taught in the world or taught by spiritual circles, but that's what it is. Life appears as everything, be it anger, be it now in the parent story. Let me tell you an apparent story of this the character here, or in my apparent life. I wouldn't say character here. That sounds too. Uh, I'll talk about myself. When there was pain, when there was during surgeries, or when there was beating, because in those apparent times beating was allowed to children, and it was considered good, the belt treatment, as they said, that it's necessary to discipline them. When there was abuse and there was beating, and then there was, or there was pain, it was just that. It was just that, and there was this formlessness, that that apparent treasure that is, and that whatever seemingly is appearing is very unmatched, you could say, to this isness, to this formlessness, to this aliveness. And no amount of spiritual bliss or spiritual goodness or niceness could match this apparent translation. Yes, there was pain. Yes, there was tears. Yes, there was anger, a lot of anger apparently appearing against authority, who apparently thought that they could hit the child or whatever. But that was it. And that anger could move mountains as well. It's a form of an apparent body's that to preserve itself as well. And but these are all stories I'm telling you. It aliveness, this aliveness, mm, this cannot be spoken of, and yet it's spoken of. And that's the greatest, this wonder of what is appearing, very alive and dancing. So it's the formlessness that is appearing as that anger as that beating also, you could say, and as mm, that isness, that revolt, that to nobody doing it. It's just just that pain, very alive, very new. And apparently, somehow, to be rid of that and to be in some positive place where there's only bliss and very happiness, apparently, in the story, seemed like violence. It seemed like it seemed violent to get rid of what is for some state, and to imagine that state, or there is only that I'm walking on the beach, or I'm very happy, or I am very happy, that seemed violent. That I seems almost like violence, which apparently wants to run away, to ignore what is, and then in that apparent seeking seems to constantly chase this isness, which is, it's not something that can be done. Like I said, life is not a doing. So but then when the apparent story, when the apparent self seems to appear, which no one is doing it, this apparent self seems that it can do something to get rid of that anger. It can do something to get rid of what is. And somehow, if it does something, then there will be only bliss. So it apparently seems to turn life into doing, whereas life is simply an apparent happening, and it's a dream-like apparent happening. It's a dream-like happening. No one is doing it. So even the need, that's why even the need. So when there is, if there is a camp of apparent, I would say, camp of positivity, doing something to get rid of what is, or of that everything is this, or even to say that to get rid, not to get rid of it, or whatever. Any teaching, any message is dualistic. For there is only formlessness, which appears as anger, as the one wanting to get rid of it, as the one saying all there is this. It's just, and this cannot be spoken of. That's why, because it's so ineffable. It's the formlessness that is appearing as everything, with there being no hierarchy. There is no hierarchy that anger is here and bliss is here. It's just formlessness, alive and energetically appearing as everything, as everything, as everything, as everything, as the one that says anger is bad, as the one that says it should be got rid of, as the one that says it's a natural expression, like lemon will always be tangy and sugar will always be sweet. It's the, as the one that says it's formlessness forming, as I want to say as the one that says, because there is no one saying it, there is no one doing it, there's no one. It's just life appearing as everything. And yet it is absolutely untouched. It's this ineffable isness. Thank you.